Su Qianru's heart skipped a beat. Did Cece's official Weibo speak out? Su Qianru couldn't wait to see the post. She snatched Su Wanner's phone and read it. In just 1 minute, Su Qianru fake king once again set the internet on fire. Netizens came trampling. Su Qianru fake king? This Su Qianru is really shocking again. After the fake daughter, she has become the fake king again. What a big liar! I was just curious about how she dared to pretend to be king. Now Cece official Weibo personally came out to slap her in the face. Su Qianru's fans were celebrating 1 second and became a laughingstock the next. Looking at these messages and comments, Su Qianru's face turned pale. She felt like she was being pushed into an abyss. The thing she feared most happened, and it happened so quickly. Finished, it's all over now. Her lies were exposed, and her biggest trump card was gone. Madame Su, Su Changrong, and Li Lan were all frozen in place. They were shocked and angry. Su Qianru, you are a liar! You are not the king at all! Su Changrong came to Su Qianru and looked at her coldly. Someone, come! Someone, throw this shameful thing out! Our Su family doesn't have such a daughter! She was now truly a homeless dog with nowhere to go. She could only look at Su Changrong and Li Lan pleadingly. Mom, Dad, I was possessed by a devil for a moment. I really know I was wrong. Please don't chase me away. Li Lan looked at her condescendingly. Don't call me Mom. Qianru, our family treats you well, but how do you repay us? Li Lan pushed Su Qianru away and said, Go away and never come back. Su Qianru's voice trembled. Mom, please don't chase me away. At this time, Su Changrong's cell phone rang and he received a message. It was unknown what was said on the other end, and Su Changrong's face changed drastically. It's King! King asked us to meet. What? Meet the king? King finally shows up? Su Qianru's eyes were red. She knew she had lost miserably. Who is King? Why do you want to meet the Su family? Su Changrong looked at Mrs. Su and said excitedly, Tomorrow at the Yunli Hotel, King will definitely see our bid. Maybe we will have a chance to cooperate with him. Cooperating with King? That means cooperating with Cece. Our company is going to take off. Now that I have come to this, I am done, but I want to die knowingly. I must know who the king is. Su Qianru gritted her teeth and decided that she would go and see the true face of this king tomorrow. Entrance of Yipenlan Villa. Mrs. Song and Song Zilin are here. At this time, Song Zilin said impatiently, Mom, why did you have to find Susie? Su Qianru is not the king, and it is even more impossible for her to be the king. She was short of money that day and went to work as a waitress. Mrs. Song slapped Song Zilin on the head and scolded. What waiter? She is not a member of the hotel staff, so why is she in the room that King and I had arranged to stay in? Because she is king? Song Zilin was very dissatisfied. He had never liked Susie, this clown girl from the country. Now he didn't believe that Susie was the king. Shut up! I told you not to do bad things outside all day long. Apologize to me later. Then the door of the villa opened. Mrs. Song, Mr. Song, welcome. Immediately, Susie's smooth and beautiful little face appeared directly in his eyes. Mr. Fu is still in the study. I'll go find him. Song Zilin walked in with Mrs. Song. Mrs. Song came over and looked at Susie excitedly. Don't call him. We're here to find you. I had a prejudice against you because of Su Qianru before, so I came here to apologize to you today. In fact, you are the one who... No one else knew about her meeting except her son Song Zilin, and the one who knew was King, who made her perfume. So today Mrs. Song was shocked to see the news of Su Qianru. Then there is only one truth, that Su Qianru is a fake king. The real king is here. She is Susie. Susie knew that Mrs. Song had discovered the truth. She covered her mouth with her slender fingers, imitating someone telling her not to talk. Shh. Mrs. Song was so excited that she was incoherent. Okay, I won't say it anymore. Song Zilin just realized. He looked at Susie in disbelief when he saw that there were no scars on her face. You are Susie! You are not an ugly girl? At this time, Madame Song slapped her again and said, How can you talk like that? I think you're ugly. Call her Cece sister. Apologize and protect your Cece sister from now on. Sorry, Cece sister. Song Zilin's mood was very complicated. From the first time he saw Zhuxi, he looked down on her in every way. He instigated his second brother to be with Su Wanner, or Su Qianru, and even pulled out her grandmother's oxygen tube, trying to drive her back to the countryside. He kept calling her Harley Quinn. Unexpectedly, she was the king, and she was still making an ugly scene. Soon, a low and unhappy voice sounded. What are you doing? Song Zilin was still looking at Zhuxi's beautiful face without knowing that Fu Nancheng was already standing behind him. When the man walked towards him with sharp and sonorous steps, Song Zilin immediately turned his head back and looked at Fu Nancheng, his gaze as if he had been electrocuted. Fu Nancheng stepped forward and blocked Zhuxi behind him. His deep, narrow eyes fell on Song Zilin's handsome face, and he pursed his lips in displeasure. Fu Nancheng tightly blocked the delicate girl behind him, shielding her from all prying eyes. Why is Mrs. Song here today? Fu Nancheng said unpleasant words. Oh, nothing happened. I brought Zilin here to apologize to the little girl. Now that we have finished talking, we will leave. Cece, goodbye. Mrs. Song took Song Zilin away. Second brother. Song Zilin raised his head. His eyes passed over Fu Nancheng's handsome shoulders and subconsciously wanted to look back. The image of Zhuxi's palm-sized face appeared in his mind. Her bone structure was cool and beautiful, and her skin was like freshly shelled egg white. She was more beautiful than any other woman he had ever seen. What, Harley Quinn? She's obviously just a little fairy. The villa door was closed, and Fu Nancheng turned to look at Zhuxi. Did Zilin see your face just now? Zhuxi nodded. I don't need to act ugly anymore. Mr. Fu, why does your expression look like that? What's my expression? Zhuxi imitated him and frowned. This expression, an angry expression. What are you angry about? Fu Nancheng didn't know what he was angry about. He reached out and hugged her. I don't like others seeing your face. This little face is so beautiful and attractive that no man would dislike it. He had already turned against his uncle and nephew because of her and didn't want to turn against his brothers again. Zhuxi pushed his hand with her index finger and said, Mr. Fu, I can't live my whole life with scars on my face. I'll have to show my face to people sooner or later. Yes, she has to show this face to others eventually. Fu Nancheng felt that she was a little childish. She was actually angry just because Song Zilin looked at her for a little longer. But the way Song Zilin looked at him just now really made him uncomfortable. Anyway, we will have a showdown with the Su family tomorrow, so there is no need to hide it anymore. Zhuxi looked up at him and said in a cute voice, By the way, Mr. Fu, did you know that Su Qianru is a fake king? It has spread all over the internet. Our Mr. Fu has chosen the wrong bride again. How pitiful. Zhuxi lay in his arms and poked his arm with her slender fingers. Fu Nancheng grabbed her finger and stopped her from poking him. He put his two big hands under her armpits and held her in his arms like a little girl. Fu Nancheng's thin lips landed on her ear and bit it. Are you laughing at me? She wanted to leave his arms, but Fu Nancheng grabbed her shoulders and stopped her from leaving. Ah! Don't make trouble! I think I've spoiled you recently, so I need to let you know who has the final say in this family. I know, it's Mr. Fu. Mr. Fu has the final say. Let me go, there are servants at home. They didn't dare to look. I'll untie you when we get to the bathroom. He picked her up and carried her to the bedroom. Bedroom? No, I can't today. Let me take the day off. Vacation request denied. He had just taken a shower and was wearing a white t-shirt and black trousers, both of which were casual home styles. He was wearing dark blue slippers, revealing his slender ankles. Everything about him was exquisite and charming. The next day, Fu Nancheng and Zhuxi got up together. Zhuxi packed her things and took her bag to leave. Are you going out? Fu Nancheng looked at her and said, Where are you going? I'll drive you. Go and meet the Su family. I can't possibly tell him this. No need to send me off, just sleep a little longer. I'll go by myself. Zhuxi left. Fu Nancheng looked at her beautiful figure, then Secretary Song came in. Secretary Song froze completely. When Secretary Song saw Zhuxi's face, she also gasped. How did she become so beautiful? Fu Nancheng had already woken up and put on his clothes when Secretary Song quickly walked in and reported in a low voice, "President, I just got the news that King has come to Yecheng." "The real King is coming? Yesterday I found out that Su Qianru was his fake bride, and today his real bride came. Where? King will meet with the Su family in the presidential suite of the Yunli Hotel." Fu Nancheng took a glance and his thin lips were pursed into a cold arc. "Let's go and meet him. I want to see if this king is the person I think he is." Next episode preview. At this moment, the slender figure slowly turned around. Su Qianru's pupils shrank and her head buzzed and stopped all thinking. It was actually Zhuxi. Madame Su Changrong and Lilan also gasped. They looked at Susie in front of them in shock. How could it be her? "Susie, why are you here?" Susie looked at the shocked people with her bright eyes and slowly raised her red lips. "Of course I'm here, because I'm the king.